So, this is 16th December 2020 and pensions. Now, if you are going to retire and you have, say, average 1,000 euros income from the government, you must know that this risk factor is huge. You have a 6% risk this year because the cost of living has increased 6%. So that means that if a tomato, milk, cost of living, food, basics go up 6% and your pension goes zero, that you are going to lose this year 6%. This is what they tell you. But of course, you must really know that those that they tell you this information eat from your pension. So they eat first from your pension, and then if there is anything remaining, then they will give you excuses not to increase your pension, but 0%. So the people that inform you are the ones that eat from your pension. So imagine utopia. No one explained to you why your pension is not growing and why the cost of living is growing 6%. Then that means it's a natural state that I don't need to ask my liver. If my liver says what is going on, then I have a problem with the liver because it's costing me a lot, and then it will take a lot of energy. And this is the situation. So if we have a Ministry of Social Security, this ministry will eat first. And what you don't know is that for your pension, all the Z and millennials, they will never ever have a job. And because the Social Security is 34%, employer is 26%, no one will employ anymore in Spain because all the money that we employ in Spain is first to pay the Ministry of Social Security, and then the leftovers, they are thrown to you, and every year they take 6%. Yes. Why? Because they are explaining to you. Therefore, they cut the 26% employer and 6% employee. They do not separate. This is a conflict of interest. This is a penal risk of getting in one box all the social security of the employees and the employers' social security in Spain, 34%. Every time we employ business persons, one person, we pay 34%. Every time we employ someone, we pay 20% income tax, so that's 54. So if I employ 0 today, I don't give money to those that eat from your pension. You see, it's very simple. They do not have the power. The power is in the hands of the business persons. We can decide today we are not going to employ anymore in Spain because 50% is tax, and this Ministry of Social Security, they cut the tax. So if it was for pensions, we would be happy. But if it is for these people in ministries, we don't want them to get any wage. I mean, why? What's the point? Alexa? It's very simple. But they have the power. And the first problem they have is that they mix the sanitary assistance with your pension. And this is not the problem of us, business person. This is a problem of you, pensioners, because the money is cut by the Ministry of Social Security. In order to reach to these goals, of course, the Social Security Inquisition, they put fines. And it's not because coronavirus that companies are closing. It is because of tax. If every time I employ a person, I have to pay in show 50% tax, there is no point. I can do that work. I can work at night, Saturday, Sunday. Why? Because if it was 100% for you, I would be very happy to do so. But if it is 50% for them, ministry, I don't, thank you very much. Why? Because they have put, in my case, fines of €250,000. Yes, they hide this information from you, pensioner. But what Social Security, what the income tax, what the councils, what they do is they fine Spanish citizens. So it's Spanish ministries fining Spanish citizens. It's like this famous song of Spanish bombs now is Spanish fines. Yes, and they hide this very well. So you, pensioner, don't know. And situation is that you, pensioner, must know that the enemy is not the business person. No, the enemy is the ministry. Now, how can we do a solution for your pensions? Very simple. We can sell the council, we can sell the ministry, we can sell the Biscay province, we can sell all the public buildings. It's worth 300 billion, and probably 300 billion people do I don't know what these last coronavirus months. I probably hope that now you, pensioner, think about it, because you can defend my pension too. And even though I am not going to retire because I love the work I do, and I respect that, I keep paying the social securities, but I don't think that giving fines, Spanish bombs, Spanish Inquisition fines and hiding is good for your grandkids. I don't think it's good. I think it's good also for your transparency pension, that in the future we know if we pay 34% social security every month, we business persons want to know how much is for your pension. Because we don't want the ministry taking away money. Yes. This, I would like the judges in Europe to start thinking about this typification. How is it that if we have transparency, rules, regulations, conflict of interest, if we pay for sanitary assistance, why this money doesn't go to the doctors and then goes to the pensions? And then why it goes for the ministries? Because in emergency situation, then we have to decide the rank of risk. The rank of risk is very simple. So, is it first we pay sanitary people? I think yes. Second, we pay the pensions? I think yes. Third, we pay the ministries? I think you have to sell them, okay? There's no point nowadays in them. With this coronavirus, you have learned the digital disruption. It is here to stay. And it is not because coronavirus, no. It is tax. It is having a box of social security, that you have sanitary assistance, and then you have this pension, and then there is the ministry people that make decision who gets paid. I'm sorry, out of the game. You must be fired today, because you are putting fines to us business persons. And that's a no, 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 no. And then you must understand that there is a risk, penal risk, of mixing the box of the sanitary assistance and the box of the pensions. What is going on now today? Well, this video is just good news, because the best thing you can do about illness is to find out what it is to solve it as soon as possible. That's my point of view. So in this case, it is better to know that this year your pension has decreased 6%. It's not because of business persons, no. It is because of the Ministry of Social Security. They don't slide, so they can start to control. If you cut in a ship, then wherever the water is going out, then you start with the biggest hole and then you go to the smaller. It's very simple risk evaluation. And then here, first thing is to cut the risk. Okay, so sanitary assistance, pension, and then ministry, fire them. And then sell 50,000 public buildings with 3 million people doing I don't know what in those buildings. And then, of course, those don't have priority to get wages. And of course, the government doesn't have any allowance to get any more debt, because this debt of your pension is going to be for your kids and your grandkids. And do you want your kids and grandkids to get the debt that you generated because they hide and they mix and they have a penal conflict of interest? I don't think this is responsible. So let's be transparent in Europe. And if there is one box for pensions in Europe, of course, we don't need 27 box security people and administration people and 27 ministries. Well, where are we living today? Alexa? Okay. Then next thing we have to do is we have to look at the basic cost for pensioners. We have water, we have taxes, also they pay VAT. This is, the water is growing about 50% per year. Yes, this is massive. This public non-saving costs that they are having here in Bilbao and everywhere. This is massive. And also the councils, and they are having so many wages, they are doing nothing. And let's just, Alexa, come on. So if we have 6% of this loss of income power, and then yearly, and then we have 21% VAT, that's 27. And then if we make more cost-saving measures of health, education, and security in Europe, I think we can increase these pensions by about, say, 5% per year. Real pension value and real income. I think this is responsible. And I think then we can retire one day and then leave a better world for the others. But the system today with this coronavirus is really very bad, and is in bankruptcy. And why then not in bankruptcy before asking for more money to North Europe? Then start Europe to understand that as well as the virus is a disaster, then also that the social security and the pensions is a huge disaster. It is required, then security, and then education. We need nothing else from the governments. Thank you very much indeed. Now, if you do not understand these pensioners, then we have a huge problem. If you young people not retired yet, then think about it, because one day 1,000 euros you might think is very good pension. If these two people at home, that's 2,000, but perhaps then in say 10 years time, you are talking about minimum wage or even less than minimum wage, and that will not be enough to survive. So please, just think about the present and solve this situation as soon as possible. The problem is not the business persons. The problem is not the council. No, the problem is the council, the Vizcaya province, the Basque government, the central government, the European Union, and all of them not sharing health, education, and security. So if they shared these costs, at least in Spain is 300 billion buildings, plus also 300 billion wages of people that don't know what they do in those buildings. And then we could talk about the art and many other areas, which I believe that the art is very nice. But if I am saying that you, pensioner, will get the 6% less of your value in your pension this year, 2020, from my heart, I would say that I don't like that idea, and I'd rather sell all the pieces of art that you have the pension you deserve without losing purchasing power year on year. And this is not going to be the case, because as I mentioned, for example, the water consortium here is growing the water cost so much because they have such a big collective bargaining agreement. They don't share security or overall administration costs with any other. Say the trains, they buy private buildings, and they are spending so much money constantly. I mean, this is just one little example. My dear loving neighbors that are trying to eat everything, and what they are doing is that they are also infecting the light, because now a parking space here was 60,000 euros. So every time they grow into the dark side, goes into the light, then the prices of the parking spaces now is 25,000 euros. So it is 40%, because they just have no control of public money. It's not their money, it's your pensioners' money. So one day they will retire and they will be complaining Mondays. But I don't like people that complain. I think people that put solutions are intelligent people, and you are a lot of pensioners in Spain. You must put a solution to this very fast, before, instead of 6% in 2021, it will be 15%, and then 30%. And then what will they do to get more money for their pension? Put fines to business persons? More? I already paid €250,000. How much more, you Ministry of Social Security, are you going to steal from the business persons in Spain? How much more? Will we have to go? Well, that would be a solution. We are already employing in other countries, because it is not possible to employ so many people in Spain. This is unfortunate for you, Z millennials. You have to go, and it is because of tax. It's not coronavirus. It's not this research and development 2%, blah blah blah. Now it's tax. So then we have 21% VAT, 24%, no, 34% Social Security, 20% income tax, and then 24% profit tax. This is total 100% pensioner. You must know that we business persons pay 100% social total tax. Okay, so then if we pay 34% social security, we want this money to go for sanitary assistance and to go for pension, never for the ministry wages. Thank you very much, because those are the guys that put the fines and don't give the money back. If they gave the money back, then I would think that perhaps they would deserve to have a grant from North Europe, but they are going to waste the money, I mean, so fast, because they are going to cut the money, and Sanchez, the Prime Minister, is the first one to take control of this 140 billion. I mean, those 140 will be disappeared, dry like water in the desert. So please, be water pensioners. They are your conflict, and then you have to tell them what to do. It is very clear, the path that we have to do now. And the only way is that Europe controls the pensions and the sanitary systems. You have seen with this virus, this is a mess. Thank you. Bye.